Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast, where we take a deep dive to understanding anything and everything around the mind, more so mental health. I'm your host, Masin Zuki, and we are continuing with Do It Scared series, having our very own Susan Kahema. I refer to her as Lalo. So let's go with Lalo for now. I hope you're comfortable.
That's
I'm so used to calling it Lalo.
That's
So
okay.
you had you talked about in the previous episode about your childhood journey. You talked about your dad struggling with alcoholism and how he was able to actually cheer you on. You talk about your mom being able to showcase resilience, and that is one thing that keeps on pushing you even to date. So I know even as we talk about mental health, there's a lot of stigma associated with it, and words are powerful. So tell us, you talked about struggling with alcoholism, and not you didn't say your dad was an was a drunk or some of the words that we hear out here. So what are these words that perhaps you can share with the audience to be able to enable us to stop referring to people who are struggling with drugs and substance use in that particular manner, because that's one way we actually break the silence and also destigmatize mental health.
I think for me, words are very important, as you have said.
Yes.
And it's not just about my dad struggling with alcoholic.
Yes.
Oh, people used to call him the drunk. Yeah. People used to call him the drunk of the village who falls under, is picked by other people.
Yes.
They were names.
Yes.
And because of that, those names cascaded back to us as his children.
Okay.
For example, at times I used to go to school and I'm told, oh, you're the daughter of the drunk. Oh, your father was found, those were bad words.
Oh, wow.
And going back, I wish people would change the narrative and not associate the condition with a person. First of all, this is a human being before, the issue that they're struggling with.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
example, even in mental health, this is a human being struggling with depression.
Yes.
This is a human being
Yes.
struggling with another condition.
Yes.
It's just like persons living with disability.
Absolutely.
It is the person first before the disability.
Wow.
But because of lack of knowledge, maybe of ignorance, people put the condition first. The disabled Susan, the drunk, the drunk person. I think we remove the humanity out of that person, and that is not good. Yeah, that's not good.
So change starts with us. Please try that. And the change starts with you as a person. So ensure that we destigmatize mental health by using the right term. It is the person, then the condition in which they are struggling with. So we don't say alcoholic, we say struggling with alcoholism. We don't say drunk. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Thank you.
I'm super excited to just take another deep dive into your story because it's powerful.
Yeah.
So you can continue to share more about when you finished high school. What transpired? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. How was life?
Wow.
Yes.
That question. I've not been asked that question a lot because people look at the Susie now, but there's a Susie with a past.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a Susie with a past.
Yes.
So what happened after I finished high school? Unfortunately, I didn't go to campus immediately because of the cut point that used to be there a few years back.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was just at the line, and that depressed me. That destroyed me. Yeah. Because I wanted to be the first child in my mother's house to go to university. Yeah, that was important to me. But it didn't happen. So in that level of confusion, my mom wanted me to do nursing and teaching. And I rebelled. I rebelled. And I didn't want to do teaching. I didn't want to do nursing. Unfortunately, I've gone back to teaching. So
yeah,
it
has come full
mothers know better.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to a college in town. I can't even remember the name of that college. But I did tours and travel. Remember, this is a lady who missed campus by 1 mark.
Yes.
And I was in class. I don't want to say with, just to say there were not people who had missed campus with 1 mark. They were low, way below. And I did, it was a college in Kenya Cinema, IATA, something. I did for 6 months. It wasn't me. Yeah. So I started living a life that was not very good. I started dating. And then, of course, with dating, going to movies, I started going to clubs. So that was 2 years of my life that I feel like I just wasted life. Yeah.
Let me take you back a bit. What made you do that course? And yet you are not feeling it?
I don't know. My auntie said her cousin has done that course and she's an air hostess. You know the way career is being related with another person.
Yeah.
But you see, I didn't know what to do because I was very focused to go to campus, which I didn't go.
Yes.
And then my mom is pushing me to do nursing, pushing me to do teaching, which I didn't want. So what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So after I finished that college, and I never got a job with the diploma that I got from that college. One thing led to the other.
Yeah.
I found myself married.
Oh, wow. So you got married young?
Very young.
Oh, wow.
I got married when I was 22 years old.
22?
Yes, yes. With this person I said that I was dating.
Yes.
He was an amazing person. Very lovely.
Yes.
And I got a son.
Yes.
I gave birth to my son early in 1996.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when I gave birth to my son, I don't know what happened.
Yes.
Later, now I have the name to it.
Okay.
I suffered postpartum depression. But then I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want him. I used to look at my son and I'm wondering, oh my goodness, this child is dependent on me.
Yes.
And I'm a child.
Yes.
So that took me way down. Yeah, way down in terms of the depression.
Yes.
When I gave birth and they took him, cleaned him, they brought him back.
Yes.
The nurse told me to wake up and look at my child. And imagine I looked at him and I said, this human being is dependent on me.
Yes.
And I broke down. I crashed. So that time we didn't know that I crashed with postpartum depression. People used to wonder, how come you're not carrying the child?
Yes.
How come I'm not playing with the child? The good part is I was staying with my parents-in-law, my mother-in-law. She's lovely. She bathed my child until he was 7 months old. Because I couldn't.
Yes.
I used to tell them he will drown in the basin. To date, I can't clean a baby.
Wow.
Because of that. Of course, trauma.
Trauma, yeah.
Yeah. Fast forward, life happened. My child was born with a chronic condition and passed away when he was 6 years old. Of course, a major trauma, taking care of my son.
Yes.
And not just a son, but a son who is struggling with a chronic condition. Towards the end of his life, he had disability.
Yes.
He got a convulsion, which he didn't wake up from it. He was in a coma for some months, but the doctor kept telling me even if he makes it, he's living with a disability. He had brain damage. So he didn't wake up from it. So that was a major part of my life that was very, very heavy, very, very difficult. We separated with my husband after my son's death because life happens as well. Then I could not understand, but later I understood not many marriages stand the death of a child. Yeah, so that was a very tough season of my life. Yeah. 2000, let's say 98, 90, until 2002, those were very, very difficult seasons of my life.
How are you coping during that difficult time?
My family, my family came in very strong, helping me to pick up myself. Positive self-talk.
Yes.
Oh, one of my sister can push positive thoughts in your head.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to swallow it. You know?
She's a pusher.
You will make it. You will make it.
Oh, wow.
You know? And she did that. Yeah, she did that a lot.
Oh, wow.
But they came in very strong in terms of finances when I needed finances.
Yes.
My dad, remember, he was still, that time he was still alive.
Yes.
He used to tell him, utawezana, utaweza.
Wow.
My mom is also very, very affirming. So those are the things that made me very strong.
Oh, wow.
And then I discovered inner resilience. Yeah. In this season of pain, when I was taking care of my son, my late son, I actually discovered a well coming from in me. I can't explain it. But I took up the caregiving role of my son with all my might.
Oh, wow.
And I know I blocked very many people from it. Like I wanted, this is my child.
Oh, wow.
Let me care for him.
So you came in full force.
Full force.
Oh, wow.
But the power was coming from in me and telling me, he will make it. You can make it. And you know that power has pushed me to who I am today. I'm able to sit with me and shake and come out of a very bad situation. Yes.
Oh, wow. So, and that power will you relate it to religion, or where will you?
Yes, of course, my spirituality is very, very, I'm very close to my spiritual life.
Yes.
But also the power of believing I can make it and I can do it. There's just that power that I don't know. If someone can connect with that power, it's a very strong power. The power that when you fall down, when someone falls down, you can pick up yourself. I can actually come and tell you, help me stand.
Yes.
But after you help me stand, you go. Yes. But there's one thing that I've learned. The power of asking for help. It is okay to ask for help.
Yes. Yes.
Other people say asking for help is a sign that you're weak.
Yes.
It's a sign that you cannot make it. Me.
Yes.
Today in the morning, I asked for help. I told you, pick me.
Yes.
That is asking for help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oof.
We were in college together. You cannot imagine the many times you people helped me.
Yes.
And you helped me because I asked for help.
Yes.
Yeah. So asking for help is very important.
Yes.
But again, every human being, and I don't want to sound very spiritual, but every human being was created with internal muscle. Every person has to get in touch with that internal muscle.
Yes.
And you can get in touch with that internal muscle through spirituality, through reading books, through therapy, through reflections, through meditation, through the feedback. Remember, my father kept telling me, you're a very strong person. My mom, you're a very strong person. They were just giving me feedback and affirming me. So so that's what happened. And then, of course, marriage didn't work. So it was a culmination of one issue after another issue. And when I was going through these issues, I struggled with now depression.
Wow. Thank you. That is so wholesome.
So depression came in, but looking back, I don't think I ever got healed from the postpartum depression. Maybe just went down. And then when life happened, it just came back. And now I was diagnosed with clinical depression. That time there was stigma to it. Yeah, I couldn't tell people that I'm depressed. Yeah, I could tell people that I'm feeling just sad, I can't sleep well. But mentioning the word depression was very hard.
Very hard.
Not just for other people, even for me as a person. Yeah.
And what was contributing to now the stigma associated with depression?
Where is depression coming from? People used to say people who are struggling with depression, first of all, you don't have faith. I remember someone told me, you're a Christian. How can a Christian suffer depression? Those things cannot go hand in hand. Yeah. And then depression was hand in hand mwenda wazimu. You know, endo wokote makaratasi on the road. You know, people could not understand what depression is all about.
So there was a vague understanding towards mental health as a whole.
Yes. Vague understanding and also stigma.
And stigma.
That, that person has a mental health issue. Oh no.
Stay away.
It could be an act of witchcraft. Yeah.
And that brings our African context.
Exactly.
People associate it with witchcraft.
Exactly. But for me, when I was able personally to demystify depression at a personal level, that's the only time I was able now to psychoeducate my family first. And tell them this is what I'm struggling with. But it had to start with me. You know, like, even to stop stigmatizing me.
Self-stigma.
Exactly, self-stigma. Because if I'm able to overcome self-stigma, I was able to overcome societal stigma. To date. If someone asks me, oh, you've suffered depression, I say yes. And once in a while, I still get the bouts even now. Yeah. And when I get them, I go to hospital and I get my drugs. Yeah. And I'm very okay with it.
Absolutely.
And I'm able to tell people, no, I can't come. I'm in one of my down moments.
So you're in touch with your feelings. And your thoughts.
Yes, a lot.
Ooh, self-awareness.
A lot. And that's why when we had COVID, I didn't just take care of my respiratory system. I took care of my mental health.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's so profound.
Like, I don't want to be in a crowd because a crowd will give me anxiety. I don't want to get COVID and then I start thinking that my immunity is not very good. I'm going to get sick and etc. And it will affect my mental health. Because I'll go down. I'll start getting anxiety and depression. So protect physical as a protecting mental health.
Oh, wow. And that brings about the aspect of there is no health without mental health. Like, mental health is part of health. So we have to take care of our mental health.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. One of my sisters keeps saying, there's health here.
Oh, I love
There's health above the neck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In your most important organ.
Exactly. Because when you go to hospital, it's so easy to talk about neck going downward. You know, all here going downward. My hip is paining. My teeth are paining. My ears. But when you talk about your brain, people are like, including doctors. Including doctors. So as I'm telling the doctor I'm having a running stomach, I also tell the doctor, and I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, wow. So the professionals, you all need to be sensitized. And I love this podcast because this is where it begins. Conversations. Let's normalize talking about mental health. So thank you so much for sharing your journey. You see how Slalo was able to deal with trauma and also being able to actually embrace herself and look at the journey where she is at and be able to like bounce back. So I'm here to just encourage anyone who is watching this and maybe you're going through bouts of depression, depressive episodes, or whatever thing you may be going through that is weighing you down. It's a process for mental health for sure, but take that one step at a time. And the first step I will recommend to you is being able to accept that there is this issue that is really that you're really struggling with, and then seek for help. That is one thing I really loved from Slalo's story around seeking for help. Never be afraid of seeking for help, because all of us, let me tell you, we all need help, including me. So do not be afraid of doing that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Perhaps maybe you can share with us what is that one thing that you would want to either tell your younger self, because you talked about struggling, going for clubs and all that. You're really trying to look at career. Which career do I choose? There was a lot of external influence, which some didn't sit well with you, and others left you in a limbo. At least that's what I was able to pick, because you are like, you entered the class, but you didn't really feel that particular career. So what would you tell this young person who has just finished Form 4, or they finished Form 4 like 2-3 years back, and they are confused? Everyone is just telling them, you do this, you do that, that is marketable. This, you will get money. This, somebody else did it and they succeeded. You do it. So they have a lot of external influence, but internally they are struggling. They don't know what to do. So what's that one thing you will tell your younger self in that particular perspective, as you share your parting shot as well?
In terms of career,
yes,
what I would tell me in 1993,
yes,
94,
yes,
sit with your mom. Just sit with your mom and your dad. Listen to them. What do they, because again, it's not because they'll pay the finances for my school fees.
yes,
I think parents have a way of seeing ahead.
yes,
And they can also pick talent of a child.
Absolutely.
When they are younger. Yeah. If I sat with my mom and my dad that time, I could have done teaching and nursing or nursing.
Okay.
And it could have shortened my career path.
Yes.
With the many things I did, that confusion. Because I didn't tell you, when I was married, I went and did secretarial studies.
Oh, wow. You are a secretary, you mean?
Oh, yes. I could have shortened that path. But again, now, they're also career coaches.
Yes.
But also sit with yourself and ask yourself, what exactly do I want?
Absolutely.
What exactly do I want as a person, so that you don't also lose your identity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My parting shot, life happens to each one of us. At times you have no control of what happens.
Yes.
As they say, life happening, we have no control of it.
Yes, yes.
But getting ourselves out of that ditch,
yes,
we have control of it.
Wow.
Yeah. By asking for help,
yes,
or pushing yourself,
yes,
to get out of that hole.
Wow.
For those who are struggling with any mental health condition,
yes,
there is hope. There is hope. Self-awareness is very important.
Wow.
And you know I love self-awareness.
You do. It's to go.
Yes, it's very important. And it's okay to tell the doctor,
yes,
I'm not well.
Yes. Oh, wow.
And if the doctor gives you antidepressants or anti-anxiety or any medication they give you, just take it. People take medicine for diabetes, for ARVs. For why do we have stigma with antidepressants and anti-anxiety?
Yes.
No, just take.
Just take. So if you're taking any mental health drug, by all means take it. Yeah, because it will make you better.
Exactly.
Yeah? So thank you once again. And there's one thing that you shared that made me remember when you talked about coaches, career people who can be able to support you, career coaches who can be able to support you. I just want to sit with that aspect of sit with yourself, because that really helped me. I remember one of my instructors told me, Mercy, everyone is telling you, oh, me, I was told, be a teacher, be a who, be a who. But when you sit with yourself, whatever you're looking for is not far from what you love doing. So Pastor Pam, God bless you. Because she told me, go sit with yourself and ask you, write down. She actually drew a circle and said, Mercy, write down what is it that you're good at. Your career is not far from what you love doing. See my career now. This is what I love doing. So thank you so much for sharing. Remember to subscribe, comment, tell us if you're a career woman, a career man, what would you tell your younger self? Have you, especially if you have struggled with navigating through careers, what is that one thing you can be able to tell your younger self so that even any young person who's watching us, they can be able to pick 1, 2, 3 things from that conversation? See you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.